What if you could unlock the secrets to success, decision making, and building an extraordinary life from one of the world's top investors? That's exactly what Ray Dalio shares in his book, Principles. In this video, I'll share 5 game-changing principles from the book that will help you make better decisions, tackle challenges, and create a life built on clarity and purpose. Welcome to Growth Amplifiers, where we showcase the best tips, resources, and tools to amplify and scale your business. Hi, Kenny Harper here from Growth Amplifiers, and on this channel, we break down the most powerful concepts and ideas, strategies that you can put into your life to level up and achieve more of what's important to you. Whether you're navigating big decisions, managing a team, or just trying to be the best version of yourself, Principles provides timeless frameworks that you can apply today to start transforming your life for tomorrow. If you're not familiar with Ray Dalio, he is a legend. He founded Principles and built one of the most successful hedge investing companies, Bridgewater, and he's been changing lives around the world since. Great man, great principles. So this is the book, and as you can see, it's a pretty decent sized book. It's got a lot of content in here. And what I like about this book, you might be able to see here in the front of the book, it really talks about principles that you can apply in your life. And then in the middle of the book, it actually breaks down the principles so that you can see them and study them. And in the back of the book, it's more about how you can apply these principles in business. So first, you got to take care of yourself and build a life around principles. Because when we follow principles that are proven to be true, and we keep our word, we develop integrity, and we can achieve the best version of ourselves. If we're not following principles and we're just reacting to what life throws at us, it can throw us right into a wall. Now, if you get a copy of the book, you'll see that the principles are broken down. There's a lot to them, more than we're covering in this overview video, and we're just scratching the surface. And I'm just talking about 5 principles on a high level. If you really want to go deep, you got to get a copy of the book. Got to check it out. There's also an app you can download. Has AI, has auto coaching in there. It's really cool and it's game changing. So let's get started with principle number 1. Embrace radical transparency. Now, what is radical transparency? If you are trying to build relationships and develop a culture that's aligned, that's motivated, that's achieving results, then you need that culture to trust each other. You need everyone to be able to call each other out if things aren't going the way they should go, if there's a problem, or if someone's not the best fit for a particular role. Sometimes someone will share an idea, and the idea isn't all that great. But if you don't call it out, then you're not helping out. Sometimes the best advice isn't what we want to hear, but it's what we need to hear. So we got to be radically transparent. Let's tell people how we really feel. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's not tap dance or tiptoe or put a political answer on it. Let's be real and embrace radical transparency. Now imagine if there's a leader that's surrounded by a bunch of yes men. Everyone just like, yes, whatever you say. The challenge with that is not every idea we have is a great idea. If people aren't willing to be radically transparent, you could put a lot of bad ideas into action and cause a lot of bad results. So here's a tip. If you're sharing ideas, encourage feedback. Ask for people to tell you their thoughts and opinions. Even if it's not what you want to hear, open the space for them. And be willing to share your thoughts openly, even when it's uncomfortable. So, number 1, embrace radical transparency. All right, we're moving on to principle number 2. And again, this is not principle number 2 in the book. They've got different set of principles. These are just 5 that I'm selecting. And this is being a hyper-realist. So it's important to see things as they truly are, not as you wish they were. If you're looking to achieve a goal and you want to get to a certain level of sales perhaps, but your track record is showing that you've never hit those sales results before, you're not on that trajectory, then you need to be a hyper-realist. You need to face the challenges. Don't sugarcoat them. Assess the situation honestly, and then make a plan to resolve it. Now, I like being a positive person. I like being optimistic, but we've also got to be realistic. And this does take a balance. We don't want to be so pessimistic that we can't see it possibly working out, that we don't even get started. But we don't also want to be so optimistic that we think it's just going to be so easy and we don't give it the attention it's due. We need to be hyper-realist. Understand if we're going to be working something that's really important to us, it may be challenging, and we're going to have to identify those challenges and overcome them. We want to make sure that we're setting clear, realistic plans. That's why it's important to be a hyper-realist. Principle number 3, identify and solve problems systematically. Now, a lot of people can overcomplicate the process of solving their challenges. They can make it so complicated that they don't even get started. Other people have no plan whatsoever, no process, and they don't make any progress. They just let those problems fester. Ray has a 5-step process. It's simple, it's basic, and it's easy to execute. First thing is you got to set goals. Goals help us set a direction. It helps us identify where we're wanting to go. Number 2, we got to identify the problems, the challenges that are in our way, the things that are holding us back. And number 3, clearly diagnose them. Not just looking at the surface level problem, but getting down to the root cause. Why are these issues coming up in the first place? If you solve the surface level problems, they can continue to reoccur. But if you get down to the root, you can stop it once and for all. So in the 4th step, you're really designing solutions to resolve that root problem. Thinking about all the different things that you could do to resolve them and selecting the best ideas that would have the most impact, you feel the most confident about, that would be the easiest to pull off. Number 5, it's great to have ideas, but we got to put them into action. 5 is all about execute. So it's a 5-step simple process to identify and solve problems systematically. Principle number 4, leverage the power of algorithms. In the book, Ray shares how he uses decision-making frameworks to help him make better decisions quicker with more accuracy. Imagine if you're leading an investment firm, making decisions based on logic makes a lot of sense, right? Well, every day we have to make decisions. And if we're just leaving it to chance, we're not following a framework, it can take a lot of time, energy, and maybe we spin our wheels, or maybe we make an informed decision. Ray suggests in the book to document repeatable decisions so that you can create your own decision-making machine. I'll give you a couple examples. So let's say you're considering on going to an event. You may have a checklist of criteria that helps you make a decision on if the event is worth the time and investment. Or if you're making other purchasing decisions, you may go through a checklist of criteria. Is it aligned with your goal? Is it in the budget? Is this a flash in the pan investment, or does it have a long-term investment, etc.? So leverage the power of algorithms. And last but not least, principle number 5, surround yourself with the right people. It's important to develop a team with complementary strengths and shared values. If you have a lot of opposing friction, you can get that office politics, you can have office wars. It really can pull people back if everyone's paddling in a different direction. However, if you really get clear on what your values are, you hire based on your values, you get the right people in the right seats taking the right actions, you're going to be cooking with gas. It's full speed ahead. It's going to have that momentum because everyone's working together as a team. And if you look at superhero movies like the Avengers, right? Everyone has a skill set that they bring to the table. And by having different people with different skills, you can develop a well-rounded team, like having a visionary, someone who can see the vision and inspire others to take action. The integrator, someone who's going to help that vision become a reality by integrating those ideas, making sure things are on track. You have some people who are a bit more conservative and administrative. They want to make sure that everything's being done in an orderly fashion. And some people who might have that creative flair and share ideas that are bold, innovative, and outside the box thinking. When you develop a well-rounded team, you're taking your business to the next level. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot more in the book. This is just scratching the surface. So note that you've got to get a copy of the book, you've got to listen to it, and this is stuff that can impact your life and your business and change the trajectory of what's possible in your future. Now, let's talk about applying principles. You can start taking actions today to achieve new results for tomorrow. So number 1, write down your own guiding principles for decision making. So if there's decisions you need to make on a regular basis, write down the criteria, the algorithm that you can go down to help you make more informed, better decisions. Number 2, start practicing radical transparency in your conversations. If you're hearing something that isn't aligned with you or your values, you think an idea isn't going to cut it, you want to be radically transparent. We want to have empathy. We want to understand other people, but it doesn't do any good if we think and we have different opinions and we're not being authentic and truthful by sharing them with others. Help others by sharing your truthful, radical, transparent ideas. And number 3, use Ray's 5-step approach for solving problems. You can start identifying the top 1 to 3 problems that you're currently facing, go through the 5 steps, and then resolve them once and for all. Don't let those problems continually fester, holding you back. Get to the root, pull them out, and be done with it once and for all. I'll give you an example of how I started applying one of these in my own business. Now, I am an action taker. I like to get a lot of things done. But sometimes my plan doesn't go as expected. And what I realized is I wasn't being able to achieve all the things I scheduled for the week. What I wasn't taking into account for is the unexpected items that arise. Things happen during the week. We receive phone calls, emails, challenges pop up. If we don't allot time for those things, then we can overschedule ourselves. We're setting ourselves up for failure. So now I've changed how I've scheduled my priorities. I have more time to align for unexpected challenges, communications, and things of that nature. And then if I end up having additional time left over, I can still progress through the rest of my list. So which ideas resonated with you the most? I'd love to see your ideas in the comments. And if you like this video, thumbs up, likes, subscribe, all that jazz is much appreciated. Remember, take new action and achieve new results. Be the amplifier that you were born to be. To show your support, take a moment to amplify this message by sharing it online. To connect with me or gain more business growth insights, visit www.growthamplifiers.com. Thank you for your support.